To gražný. I'm muted, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Is that my line sister?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Jelena.
I don't know how long ago that was, though. Okay, I think we're good. Oh, there we go. Hi everyone, I'm just gonna go ahead and get started with the makeup application just because we are on a limited amount of time and I know you guys are all doing your best to learn. Started with the makeup application just because we are on a limited amount of time and I know you guys are all. I'm back. So I'm gonna get started with Deja's makeup. As you can see, Deja has really beautiful skin. She has a few areas that I wanna like even out, but we're gonna do a everyday look on Deja with a lot of brown tones. I'll show you the palette. I'll be working out of this palette and I will be using a lot of these shades right here. Here are the tools that I'm going to be using. And then I'll share the camera with you. I'm going to be using a lot of makeup terminology today. So, for instance, I'll be using the term pat. So when I say pat, I mean literally just pat the product into the skin. And then I'll say blend. When I say blend, I usually mean move back and forth in a motion like this. Again, pat, blend. All right, so Deja's face is already clean. I'm going to take a makeup wipe and then I'm going to add some moisturizer. So, using e.l.f. makeup wipes. I hope this is working. I feel like they would be commenting or texting me. Quick text and just make sure this link is working. I think it is though. There goes Deja, sorry. Feel weird.
Yeah.
Was that painful or no? Okay. Just show them the moisturizer that I'm using. And just kind of warm it on my palm. Then I'm going to use this like a serum. This is Estee Lauder's Advanced Night Repair. So this is going to really help lock in the moisturizer from the lotion that we just used on her face. Some people like to apply their serums with a brush. I love to work my skincare in with my hands. So before you apply makeup, you want to make sure that your skin is really nice and primed with moisturizing products so that your makeup doesn't look cakey or anything like that. Just turn down the yellow. Okay. I feel like we get enough. Next, I'm just using some Vaseline. I feel like we should play some music. We just turn it on now. Thank you, Deisha. All right, and then I'm going to use this under eye cream, which is also by Estee Lauder. This is also an Advanced Night Repair. This is their eye serum, and I'm choosing to use this underneath her eyes so that it's very nice and hydrated. So when we put makeup underneath there, it doesn't look cakey. It gives a really nice, smooth look to her under eye.
On Alicia Keys radio.
Oh my gosh.
Who you want to hear?
Maybe like Tiana Taylor.
Okay. I don't know who was listening to her.
So I'm just rubbing that eye cream in right now. I feel like I hope this is good. I'm just patting that eye cream in. We'll let it sit before we put any product on there. Alright, guys, Deja has a really nice original shape to her eyebrow. So what I'm gonna do is start with outlining the brow first. I feel like that's the easiest way to draw in your eyebrow without worrying about getting the shape absolutely perfect by just going in with the darker color. If you go in with a lighter color first, you can kind of create an outline and a shape for the brow, and then you can just lightly fill them in wherever you need to. I always recommend getting your brows groomed, which I did include in your informational email, that it just makes for a much easier start, because when your brows are groomed, you kind of have a defined shape. And when you have a defined shape, it just takes a little bit of the work out of trying to create a whole new eyebrow shape. So I like to brush the brows up and back. All right, then I'm gonna go in with the concealer, and I'm actually using the e.l.f. concealer. I decided to use a lot of affordable products today, just because I know a lot of you have emailed me about the products that I was using and like the price point, and wanted to make sure that they were easily accessible. So everything I'm using today is easily accessible and has a pretty practical price point. So again, I'm using this e.l.f. concealer, and this is in shade medium warm. And I'm using a flat brush. It's a 542. So you can see the shape of the tool. Oops. And it's from Bendulum. And I kind of feel bad because they just really had a good sale. So you just keep doing it like that. Is Tiana Taylor radio? I like it already.
New clean version.
Oh, okay. How does one access the clean version?
Well, dealing with your son, you have to have it.
Yeah, I try to have it all the time. Nothing works.
It's Pandora, so
Oh,
yeah.
okay. Pandora actually does work.
Well, yeah, Apple Music is.
Right. So then we're going to use this concealer like a primer all over Deja's lid. My baby. I think we could get a little closer.
Oh yeah, that makes a difference.
So I'm going to use a patting motion with the same concealer, and I'm just going to pat it in. So same thing on this side. And then you can take that extra concealer and go ahead and bring it all the way down her eyelid. And that's more so a patting kind of motion. We're gonna let that concealer dry on her lid. That's a really creamy product. So if you let it sit for just a little while, it'll kind of thicken up, and that's when you begin to see more coverage. All right, I'm gonna go in with GG Brows Ombre Brow Pencil, and I'm going to just go underneath Deja's brow and create a line. So I'm gonna start from the arch because that's where she needs, that's where we can create like a little bit of balance so it looks really nice and full on the outside corner, so you can notice her brows and they will look like more complete, because you see how she has like a bunch of hair right here, but it's a little sparse when you get towards the end of the brow. So I'm gonna go in and just kind of create that arch a little bit. All right, and then we'll start from the top and we'll meet that tail almost on like an angle. And go ahead and fill in your brow. Soft strokes. Then I just went around her brow with that same concealer brush. All right, and then I'm gonna do the same thing on the other side. Perfect. Falling asleep. You're like, how could I start snoring on camera?
My head started nodding.
Oh. I'm like, pick your head up. All right. All right, and so I'd like to show you guys a simple rule of thumb when it comes to how to create a great brow shape. So, typically you want to hold your brow on the outside of your nostril, and that's where your brow should start. And then if you hold it on a diagonal, this should be the highest point of your brow. And align that, with your eyeball. Iris, I believe would be the proper term. And then if you line the pencil from your outer nostril all the way to the outside corner of your eye, that should be the furthest point of your brow. So if you, as you can see, Deja's brow is like the typical norm, like the shape of it is really nice. All right, so I'm just gonna put a few of my like brow, I'll do like a little bit of the hairs in the front, and I'm going in with a lighter pencil. This is a liquidy kind of pencil. I like to go in the front of the brow with a lighter color, just to give the brows a softer look. And then I'm taking the back end of my brow brush. This tool is called a spoolie, and I'm just softly moving that color forward. Oh, I just broke my brow pencil. I put the wrong side of the top in it. So we could see it's a little bit sparse in there. So it was like real tight. I tried to take it apart. It was like, no. Alright, so we got that going. Alright guys, so I'm going to get started with her eyeshadow. And I'm going to use this color. So I would suggest that when you go in, you want to find a brown that's probably like 2 shades deeper than your skin tone. And I would go with a warm color, because as you can see, we're going to kind of work with these shades. You can use your preference, but I'm recommending that you go 2 shades deeper than your skin tone so that you can notice your crease a little bit more. And then you'll want to find a really deep brown. So I brought in some shade variations just to show you. So if you have skin that's even lighter than Deja's, you could do another shade choice, like something like this. These two colors. If your skin is a deeper tone, you could go with these kind of shades at this bottom row. So just to kind of give you an idea of the shade variations if your skin tone is different than Deja's.
Yeah, no questions?
Yeah, send us any questions. I don't even know if
The main screen had it at the beginning.
that's what we're doing. I told them that I was gonna go in with my So guys, I'm gonna first use this brush. This is a blending brush. This is the brush by Morphe. This is the M514 by Morphe. All right, so again, I'm going in with this shade, and I'm going to go into Deja's crease, and the crease is kind of right where that eye folds, right here. And when I go in on the crease, I'm gonna go back and forth in a buffing, sweeping, blending kind of motion, okay? So before I do that, I wanna make sure that the concealer that we put on her lid is not creasing. Because if it's creasing underneath, you're gonna see creases when you lay that eyeshadow down. And I'll show you a trick. Sometimes I like to take a powder, a skin tone powder, and I apply that all over the lid. And that makes it a lot easier to blend all the color choices you're gonna be using.
Like when you stand in front, it looks more normal.
How's that?
Yeah, it looks better.
Okay. Just didn't want it to be so highlighted that the color doesn't look like what we're saying.
Yeah.
All right. So going in with that crease color. Okay. I guess
Yeah.
I'm standing in my light, but it's okay. And I'm gonna move back and forth. I'm gonna turn your chin just a little bit in the camera. Yep.
Do we go in with a little bit or a lot of shadow?
I would say go in with a little bit and then build up the amount of shadow that you're gonna use. Good question. So I'm moving back and forth, and I'm just placing the shadow in that crease area. And moving back and forth in this kind of motion is gonna help blend the color so you can't see where it starts and stops. So if you can see now, if you open your eye for me, yeah, we have a little bit of definition, more definition than we had in that crease area. Now we can go in with another tone, this deeper brown, and that's gonna hollow out the crease even more so that the crease is even more noticeable when we put the lighter color on the lid. So I'm gonna go in with this shade in her crease area, and I'm gonna use the same motion that I was using, but I'm sorry, I'm gonna go right underneath that crease color, like a little bit more in here. I'm still using the same tool. So So again, this is the color shade choice. Waiting for Jim to get back to me. So I'm tapping off any extra anytime I'm going onto the eyelid, and I'm just sweeping right back and forth. There we go. So you can kind of see what she got going on there. There you go. Go ahead and open. So you see how we really got some definition in the crease area now? Now it looks like her lid is larger and we're bringing it forward. It's more prominent. It's going to pop because the lighter color is on the lid and we have the deeper, more warm brown shades in the crease. So then I will take probably a skin tone color, and I'll place that all over her lid. I'm going to use a flat brush. This brush is actually by Artistry. It doesn't have a name, but it's a flat shader brush. So I'm going to go in with something like this kind of color. And I'm loading my brush up, so there's a good amount of product on here, and I'm gonna tap right where this other product starts. So I'm gonna press and I'm gonna tap, and we're tapping so that we get a good amount of pigment on our shadow. I feel like this Beyonce song is never gonna get old. Maybe not. Maybe not to everybody, but. So again, I'm doing the same thing on this side. That light color is meeting right in the crease. It's meeting the other color, and that way your blending application will look more seamless. And I will show you how to go back over it too, just to make sure it looks really nice and blended. Here I come, y'all.
Where's the original screen?
Right here.
Oh, yeah, that's where the comments were at. Oh, it's all the same?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So maybe nobody asking questions. Alright, so now guys, I'm going back in with this, the first shade that we used. And that's just so that we can get a really nice blend out in this crease. So I'm going back in with this beautiful color. And I loaded my brush up in a circular kind of motion, and then I'm going to tap off the extra shadow so that you don't get shadow all over your face when you're working. And then I'm just going back in this blending kind of motion again. Open for me, Deja. Yep. Give us a real nice seamless look. And then I'm going to do this on this same side too. There we go. And I'll teach you guys one of my favorite tricks. So we can go back in with that shader brush. Remember that flat brush? I'm going to use it this direction. I'm going to load it up with that same color. So I have my product like this. Look up at the ceiling for me. So I'm taking a warm brown tone. I'm going to go right underneath. That's going to help us bring that brown look all together. I'm going to turn you that way. Perfect. You can blink as much as you need to. Kind of tickles a little bit when you do this, so It's okay if you're like, oh my God, how do I do that? Alright, so I like to do that, and then I also like to go in with a little bit of a that deep brown shade that we used again too. And I'll try to get that color really, really close to the lash line. For some people, it's easier to use a pointy brush like this. This is a pencil brush, and this is a Pro Sephora Smoky Liner. It's Charbonnet, I believe is how you say it, number 24. So again, that's what the brush looks like. I'm going in with the dark brown, and I'm gonna kind of use this like an eyeliner. So I'm taking the point, look up at the ceiling for me, Deja, and I'm gonna get right up to her eye, basically like she's doing eyeliner. I'm gonna do the same thing on this side. I always say that the eyes kind of take the longest. Now I'm taking that brown shade and I'm gonna go on her lash line and kind of color back and forth. And the reason why I like to do that is it gives the black, because we're going to put on some black eyeliner. So it kind of gives you an idea of where to place your black eyeliner. And that's how you really get that distinct, smoky, bad bitch energy kind of look to your eyes. All right. So I don't want to cause y'all too much work. But I'm going to take this black eyeliner and I'm going to color right on Deja's eyelash line. So, yep, go ahead and close for me. And you do not have to get this in a perfect line. I want to tell you that I'm using the Sephora 12-hour colorful crayon. It's in waterproof and the shade is in Black Lace. I love this pencil. It's so creamy. It stays on so well. And the reason why the creaminess is important to me is because when I initially use the product, I can put it on and then I still have some time where I can blend it before it sets and it's not going anywhere. And it's important to be able to blend it because if you didn't get it on there perfectly, you can make a little smudge. Or if you want to create a smoky effect, you can do that. So as you see, I took the black pencil brush, turn this way for me, and I just went back and forth across that line that I created. Remember, the line wasn't even perfect. Open for me, Deja. And I didn't create a wing, but I added some definition, and I went from the middle of her eye. I didn't go all the way in. I went from the middle of her eye all the way to the outside. Open for me. And the reason why I did that is because that particular way to do liner is so much easier. It takes the pain out of trying to get a perfect line. So I'll turn this way. And then I'm going to color right on her eyelashes. You'll literally feel yourself, it's like literally coloring on your eyelashes. You're like, what am I doing? Am I even doing this right? And if you could see, the line is imperfect. And then I'm going to go back in with that pencil brush. There's no additional product on this pencil brush. And all I'm doing is moving it back and forth to blend and soften that line. And this is called a smudge. Open for me. Now, as you can see, here's a perfect example. As you can see, my lines are not even. So whenever you're doing your makeup, you always want to take a step back and look and say, okay, well, did I do the same thing on this side that I did on that side? And if you didn't, it's not a big deal. You could take a Q-tip if you need to remove anything, or you can just add a little bit more product to balance out the sides. So if you just give me a minute, I'm going to balance out Deja's eyes, and then you can take a step back at your eyeshadow and make sure that whatever you did on one side, you did on the other side, and that things look nice and even. And at this time, if you have any questions, you can let me know.
Oh, no, it's been that way the whole time.
Oh, okay. Open. Open but look down. Sorry.
Oh, I'm about to start think.
Not more than me.
Yeah, Tamar.
Her crazy self speaks to my soul. I'll be like, "Sing it, Tamar." Alright, and because I like to be extra, I'm gonna take this liquid liner, and I kind of want to brag about this liquid waterproof eyeliner. So if you follow me or if you know me personally, you know that I'm kind of like a makeup junkie and hoarder, and I love the tip of this. And I found it on sale for like $3, and so I bought like countless. I was like, what if this works? So all I'm gonna do is trace really close to Deja's lash line with this this liquid liner. And the reason why I'm doing that is because the liquid liner gives the eye a different look. That liner that we just used was a matte liner, and a lot of times liquid liners, because the texture is different than a cream, they just have a different look to them. Open for me. And then on top of the smoke, we got a little precision. So that just defines the eye a little bit more. And personally, I just love the way that looks. All right, I'm gonna say to all of you that are doing your makeup, as soon as you get a free moment, get your lashes out of the package because we're gonna start working on lashes. Open for me. And when I got towards the inside of Deja's eye, I kind of lifted up her eye and went right on the waterline, so not on top. And that's just to kind of keep that really pretty shape of her natural eye going. All right, and I'm using these Allure lashes in style number 126. These are at Ulta. I'm sure you can find them on their website, but I love these lashes. I'm telling y'all to get your lashes ready, and I'm holding your phone for me. All right, so we have the lash. I'm gonna bend the lash, kind of back and forth. Get it nice and round. Oh, just kidding. I'm notorious for that too. I have one client that every time I go to her house, I drop one lash. So I never would go to her house with one pack of lashes. Me and her laugh every time. And it's like, her house is really clean and everything, but we just can't ever find the lash. Like, it'll dry. It's happened like at least 3 times. Okay, so we've been to like it's kind of funny. We've like, this house be eating lashes. So I did sanitize this lash, okay? And so then I'm gonna measure the lash and make sure, open for me, that the width of the lash fits her eye well. So you don't want the lash to hang too far down this way, because then that will kind of make your eyes droop a little bit in this corner. If anything, you want everything to look lifted and go up whenever you're doing makeup. So personally, I like to angle the lash just a little bit. So on the outside of the lash, on the outside corner of the lash, I'm gonna go upwards a little bit, and then I'm gonna go really close to the inside of her eye right here. Open for me. And I can tell that this lash has a little extra piece right there, so I'm gonna trim that off so that it doesn't poke her when she opens and closes her eyes. So I made sure I have some scissors. All right. And if you're gonna trim the lash, remember that the shortest side of the lash typically goes in the front. And that's just a unit of measure. You don't have to go by that. But typically when the lashes are placed in the case, that's how they're meant to be applied. So I just took the Duo glue. I believe this glue is latex free, but if you have any latex allergy, always check the packages on lash glue. So I just did a nice little coat on here. This glue dries clear. It goes on white. I like to let the glue dry for a little bit. Don't blow on it because whatever germs you got in your mouth, you're going to put on your eyes. So just kind of let it air dry. I'm going to get the second lash ready while we do that. Well, that's my plan. It was turned over upside down here, so I'm going to put it in the phone. Bust it down. When she said that, I was like, bumping.
You grown and married.
Play on words. Play on words, yeah. Every time when she was saying something, I was like, she married. She a whole married woman. All right, so I'm getting the second lash ready by doing the same thing. I'll do that off camera probably. So remember, a nice coat of glue. And something that's really important is whatever you do to one lash, do to the other, because you'll have your other lash all nice and round and sitting perfectly on your eye, and the other lash will just be sticking out straight. So bend that lash just like you bent the other one. All right, look down for me. Open. Open for me. I like yours in a little bit more. Open. Tell me if it's poking you at all. Open. Now, a trick, because you guys are doing makeup on yourself, you're not doing makeup on a model. So I like to say, if you have a handheld mirror, hold that for me, Deja. Look down into the mirror and apply your lash that way. So almost hold it down like that, and then look down when you're applying. It gives you an easier angle to apply your lash at. Okay, now, oops, I have to turn towards me so I can make sure these are even. Open. How does that one feel?
Good in the, okay, the camera where you need to be.
Look down. All right, there you go. All right. And so before you get started on your foundation, because that's what we're going to do next, make sure you've gotten off any extra eyeshadow that went past your under eye area, especially if it's a darker shadow, because it's going to look like a darker shadow underneath your makeup. If you don't take it off, you'll be able to see it. I just felt like the jeans and you definitely took out your foundation. I don't see it anywhere. It's okay.
What's this?
It's just a little bit more of that under eye cream that was already under there because I kind of like wiped it away. And a little bit of concealer kind of mixed together. twice. And so by now your skin should be really, really nice and hydrated. I'm going underneath Deja's under eye area because I wiped some of that cream off, and I want to make sure that it's really, really nice and hydrated underneath there so that her makeup looks really nice and beautiful when I apply it. It doesn't look cakey or like gather in one area because that area isn't hydrated. Having a good hair day, huh, Deja?
It was in that wet ponytail. I had to do something.
And I have a lot of people ask me about primers and do I suggest primers. And I would say that it just kind of depends on the type of skin that you have and the look that you want. Some primers work exceptionally well, and then you have others that I feel like are just kind of gimmicky. But I did prime Deja's skin, but I used skincare. I didn't use a specific like primer or anything like that. We use skincare products to prime, meaning get the surface ready for the makeup. So I'm going to start in the center of her face. I'm using MAC Studio Fix foundation. It's a medium to full coverage foundation, and it dries natural but kind of matte. So if you're going to use this foundation, you want to make sure that canvas is really, really nice and hydrated. And I even have a little bit of moisturizer that I keep right there, so when I'm moving back and forth, I make sure I get a really nice and moisturized application. And I'm going to put on Deja's foundation in a patting motion. Not too much underneath that under eye because we don't want it to look cakey. And if you notice, Deja's natural skin tone is quite a bit olive or yellow. So in matte colors, Deja is a cool tone. On the color wheel, anything that has like yellow in it, is more of like a goldeny tone, and I believe that's considered warm. I was educated by MAC when it comes to warm and cool colors, and their spectrum is actually opposite because they start from neutral tones. So again, I'm pressing the makeup into her skin. So how to tell if you're warm or if you're cool? To me, warms are more like peaches, reds, orange. And cools are like yellows, greens, baby blues, stuff like that. So again, you see we're patting. It looks like I need some more foundation, but I went underneath. I'm gonna go all over her nose in this same kind of patting motion. And this is the way that you can apply your foundation. And when you do apply it like this is gonna help you get some really good coverage. So if I was sweeping and moving back and forth, I would still be applying foundation, but it's gonna be a much thinner layer. Which is okay if you just want lighter coverage. But for the sake of today, I'm showing you guys how to achieve full coverage, which is why I'm pressing, patting, and stamping in that foundation. And remember, take a step back and check out your application and make sure that it's even. As you can see right now, Deja doesn't have much foundation right here, and she doesn't have any on her forehead. Sweeping a light layer. I'm gonna grab some more foundation. Is this your theme song, Deja? I felt your look kind of changed.
Well, I'm concerned I saw on Instagram Rihanna might be pregnant. That's not the move, girl.
I mean,
By A$AP Rocky.
I feel like at this point Rihanna is rich.
So I'm saying this how you wanted to go out.
She said she was gonna have a daughter soon. She said she was born from a black woman, who was born from a black woman, and she gonna give birth to a black woman. But I think she meant black girl. A whole woman come out. A black woman. But I don't know. You know me. I'll be like,
whatever makes you happy.
yeah, whatever. And if you got enough money, shit. Not to man bash, but. Mm-hmm. All right. Notice we still going in with that pressing motion. The full coverage. And a lot of times you can concentrate that foundation towards the center of your forehead, because a lot of times women of color, we're like deeper skin tone out here. So you start putting your foundation closer towards the hairline or even in your temples, and you're like, this is not matching. We all gotta.
Said something could have been. I don't know. So for people who use the makeup sponges, is it the same idea?
I was just gonna tell you that.
Yeah.
You think you need to move?
Well, when I moved back, like when you moved, it was fine.
Tell me if you notice a difference.
Yeah, I'm looking a little Michael Jackson.
In that light?
I think just when you stand there and your back is blocking it, it's better, but
It's the shadow, because that means the light is too much light.
Okay, I could tell a difference when you do that.
That's better? Okay. And then that's another thing too. So you want to pay attention to the light that you're using. So if the light that you're using is not really I would always suggest using a sitting close to a window if it's daylight, and that will give you the most accurate lighting. So because I notice a lot of times like beauty lights, they're so white, right? They kind of wash us out, and we think that we're wearing the right makeup tone, and you go in a different mirror, you're like, oh hell no, I'm looking crazy. Yep, that's because your lighting is a little too white. So if you can, get ready by a window, or use an even amount of lighting, but you don't want to use too much white light. A good balance. Okay, so I'm gonna use a foundation stick, and this kind of sucks. I don't know what shade that this is, and it's not on the tube. I love these, but if I could give any feedback on this product, I would say, hey, Black Opal, can you please put the shade sticks on the thing, because I've had the product, for so long. And I don't have the top anymore. I have a different type of top. All right, so now I'm going to use a Beauty Blender sponge, and I'm just going to tap Deja's makeup in. I dampen this with my rose water spray. You can dampen it with regular water. This is what I carry in my kit. And so that's often what I use, so I don't have to stop and use somebody's sink. And so see those lines of demarcation right there? We want to thin all of that out. And we can do that by pressing that makeup into our skin. And that's going to really, really help you get that seamless makeup look. Make sure you get your ears. And now that I've said that, you're going to notice it every time you do makeup. I'll never forget once the makeup artist said that to me. She was like, oh, I hate when people don't put makeup on their ears. And then ever since then, I'm like, do I be putting makeup on my ears? But then you notice it now. All right, and so I want to get up in that nose area. So I'm going in with the other side, and I'm just going to kind of pinch it. And I'm going to press right up in there. All right, and the same for all over this side of her face. Turn this way from me, Deja. Perfect. I'm going to attempt to use my left hand. And especially under eyes, You want to get that really nice and smooth because we're going to be putting more product underneath there. We're going to put her concealer in there. And we don't want it to look all cakey. So making sure you press that in. All right. So I guess we will go in with that concealer. I'm going to go in with the highlighter, the concealer, before I go in with Deja's contour. So I'm going to go in and I'm going to use a shade that has a little bit of peach to it. As you can see, this has a little bit more yellow, that's foundation color. And this has a little bit more peach. And the reason why I'm doing that is to neutralize the discoloration underneath her eye, which is going to make it look more flawless. So the peach kind of color corrects any of the blue tones that are kind of peeking through. And that is very normal because the skin underneath your eyes is actually really, really thin. So that's why when you're aging or when you're tired or when you're dehydrated, you're going to notice that. Notice that in your under eye area. Because that tissue under there is really, really thin. Open for me so you can see. You notice the difference? Let me get back in my light. Yeah. See that coverage? All right. So I went in with my pendulum brush. Turn this way for me. Look up. And I'm going right in that corner. And I'm going all the way up to the lash line. Notice I'm not going all the way out. And I'm press that in all the way up into that lash line. And Deja, do me a favor and just look up at the ceiling the whole time. Yeah. And the reason why I'm having Deja look up at the ceiling the whole time is because I don't want this under eye area to crease. I'm about to put some powder. Look back up, girl. Look back up.
Taking so much concentration.
All right, so I'm going to use this RCMA powder. And this is a translucent shade. And if you have a deeper skin tone, I have a shade variation for you too. I can show you something that you can use. I brought it along with me if you're a deeper tone. This is also where a lot of people like to apply their banana powder. I didn't use banana on Deja because Deja's
Already.
Deja, the banana powder will probably look a little too yellow on Deja. So I did bring the shade variation to show you. So if you have a skin tone that's probably like my skin tone and deeper, you will use a shade like this. That's a banana powder. You can still use a translucent powder for everyone. It's supposed to be translucent, so it's not really supposed to show up. But it makes it a lot easier if you use something that's a little bit close to your skin tone, especially if you're still learning to blend and do makeup. And then I would recommend this shade, and this is I Am Magic Setting Powder by Juvia's Place in the shade
Namib.
We think it's Namib. So yeah, so just to give you an idea on shades. And the banana powder that I just showed you guys, that is by AJ Crimson, and it's in the shade Bamboo. Alright. Down there. So now we're gonna go in with the cream contour that I told you guys about. And I'm just going to go right above Deja's cheekbone, and I'm gonna blend upwards. And then I'm gonna go along her hairline. And the reason why I decided to do that is because I want to create a really nice shade that brings her makeup all together. Because right now she's just one color, and none of us are really one color, right? So we want to bring back some of that warmth. And the girls love a good contour. So we're gonna add some warmth with this shade. And I like to connect my contour. And this depends on your eye shape. Deja could afford a little bit of bringing that brow all the way together. So I'm going to do a line from her brow, like to the center of her nose, on down. And we're going to create some shape and we're going to straighten that all out. Don't you even worry. We're not going to create no crooked shape. And this is how we get that makeup look to kind of come into harmony and look more natural. And I'll take it a step further and to say this is really kind of like a professional look. So when we talk about mastering your makeup, you're getting all the tea, okay? On how to do your makeup like a professional. So again, I'm taking this same brush. And because of the size of Deja's cheek, I didn't go with a really large cheek brush, like a powder brush or anything like that, because I want to keep this product concentrated right in this area so that it, because remember, wherever you put a deeper or a darker shade, that area is gonna look smaller. And we don't want her face to look too small because she already doesn't have like a really huge face. So if you do have a bigger face or you want to kind of contour your cheeks and minimize how big they look in your opinion, then you can use more of this shade along that area. And whenever you're contouring, you want to go a couple of shades deeper than your skin tone. I usually like to go with something that's more cool so that you don't have really, you don't end up, if you use a warm tone, sometimes you end up looking like a orange blob. You know, it look like too much, a little bit of a bronzer. So I'm just kind of patting, Paula patting. Pity pat. Notice right away, patting that in, not too close to the nose because you're gonna minimize the look of your cheek area. And we want this area to be really distinct. All right, now we're patting in as well. So you just want to make sure you can't see where that color starts and stops. So that's why I'm patting. And if you need to do a little circular motion to blend, you can. Keep in mind that might take away some of the foundation that you have on. So that's why I like to pat. Because I can already see here, and that will be something that annoys me. I can already see from where I tried to show them. Pat where I could see the foundation separate. All right, so we see blended. All right, I'm gonna have to turn. Yep, perfect. And I hope you guys are keeping all of your questions on a notepad or something like that that I mentioned in the informational email, because at the end, I will definitely be going over some questions that you all might have. And I also hope that you're enjoying yourself and learning so far. I'm gonna turn you this way, just perfect, yeah. Wow. I go acting like mom. Wow. Do you feel as pretty as you look?
Yeah, I'm seeing the transformation.
You're like,
I was looking tired when we started.
all right, so now because this area is smaller, I'm going back in and I'm gonna move back and forth. Again, you don't want to do too much. Sorry, you don't want to do too much swiping because you're removing all of that color. So I'm kind of patting this into her skin. And make sure you pat up into that brow area too. You notice now she doesn't have those really harsh corners to the front of her brow. Doing that same thing on this side. Okay, now I'm gonna take a second to turn her towards me evenly. And always take a step back when you contouring your nose, baby, because I done seen a lot of crooked nose contours. When it's just awkward. Okay, and I'm super excited to try these. I've never used these, but I've heard really good reviews from a lot of makeup connoisseurs and my makeup artist friends. This is the Juvia's Place bronzer palette, and I brought the shade variations to show you as well. So this is I don't even think this is the lightest one. I think this is the tan one, because I think it's one lighter than this, and I probably should use that for Deja, but that's neither here nor there. And then this is the dark one. And then we have one for deep dark, which I'm super excited about because my chocolate girls want to be bronze too. And I can't stand when they don't make the right bronzer for them. I'm like, oh, God. Send help, Jesus. All right. So I'm going to go in with this cooler tone because we already used a warmer tone on Deja, and I don't want her to be looking like an orange Oompa Loompa. So I'm still using my same brush, y'all. Turn in the light for me. And I'm going right on top of that cream. And I will probably use a swiping motion when I'm doing that. And I'm getting right up into her hairline. Literally right on top of that same product. And whenever you put a cream product on top of a powder, you're kind of setting it in place. For example, we use the cream concealer, the creamer liquid concealer, and then we set it with the powder. That way it doesn't separate. Now, if you have a smaller forehead area and you want to kind of bring that forehead area forward, you can use some of that setting powder right in the middle. I don't necessarily like to do that because I feel like it draws a lot of attention to that area. Y'all was gonna let me forget to contour her neck. Y'all wrong for that. Y'all was gonna be talking about me like, kind of makeup class you teaching. And I love to connect that because it just looks so much more realistic. You like, where the makeup starting and where is it stopping? Is it she or is it no? Maybe it's Maybelline. That's the one where she like maybe born with it. Maybe it's Maybelline. Oh, you too young for that.
I know what.
Oh, okay. I was like, yo, though. Like, you like, huh? Nothing, girl, nothing. So we just blending this down. And that might have been a little bit too much of a makeup trick for y'all, but I think it looks great, especially when you're wearing like your, something that's kind of drawing a lot of attention to this area or anything like that. You always want to pull your makeup down your neck a little bit. All right, so we got the brush going on. I'm going to add a little bit of blush because I love blush on Deja. She don't like it that much.
I knew it was coming.
So because she really don't like blush that much, I'll probably use something really neutral like this shade. And she got them pretty cheekbones. And I'm using this same brush still, y'all. I'm the one brush queen. And I'm going to go on the apples of her cheeks. And I'm going to swipe it up. And not put too much.
This is what you wanted.
And because I put a lot of blush on her, I'm going to use a bigger blush and I'm going to blend it down. And I have something I want to show you guys. Whenever you do something like this, you could take an empty makeup sponge. In my opinion, I didn't really want that much blush. So I'm going to take a sponge that just has a little bit of that foundation on it. And I'm going to just tap over it. So don't panic if you put a little bit too much product, okay? We can do stuff about it. And now I'm going over this with a brush to kind of soften that color up a little bit. And then, baby, I'm going to go in with, this is a highlighter by MAC. It's limited edition. I don't think they even have this color anymore, but you can get something really close to it called Soft and Gentle. There's other shades. If you want more of like a gold shade or a bronzy shade, they have that. So I'm putting that even more above where we place the bronzer. Turn this way in the contour. So we started right here, and with this highlight, we're gonna put it on the high planes of her cheek. Now, if your skin is more textured, like mine, don't put highlighter right there, because it's gonna show every pimple you got. Okay, turn that away from me this way. Yeah. And that is a rule to remember too. Anytime you have shimmer, it's gonna pick up texture. up? We are moving on to the lips, girl, and we are gonna do a nude lip. So I'm going to go in with 2 liners. This one is NYX Nude Truffle. I don't think y'all can see that, but it just looks like this. And then this one is by NYX, and this one is called Downtown Beauty. I've already sharpened both of these, so you want to make sure you get a nice point to your pencil. And I'm going to go like in Deja's Cupid bow area. First of all, she needs some chapstick. That was out of love. All right, so I'm gonna go in with the darker liner first. And I'm going a little bit above where her lip is. Like so, not all the way out this way because I want to create a shape. And I want to create a little bit of balance. And Deja got a bottom lip, but she don't have a top lip. Which is why I'm going to use 2 different colors. So on the outside around here, I'm going to go in with a deeper color. And notice my lip liner is not even perfect. We're going to be blending all that anyways. And then when I get up here, I'm using something a little bit lighter because if I go too dark up here, you're not going to see her lip. And you don't have to do this if you have really symmetric lips or anything like that. And I decided to do this because this is a good way to help you blend too. So if you're not good at blending, you just color that lighter liner right over the edge of that deeper liner. And then I'll show you another trick. Kiss together, Deja. Now see how you got that liner that was on the bottom? On the top. Should we do pinky nude? You hate
Do you?
Deja don't like pinky nude, y'all, and I do. All right, so I'm just gonna do kind of like a warm, I mean not a warm, but this is a nude color that clearly I need to get rid of. It's called Lust. Dang, I didn't know this was like this. That's my shade. Guess we won't be using Lust today. That's okay, I got another one. Kiss together. It looked like it was something here though, didn't it? I'll let you. Kiss together. Is that color too dark or something?
No, it's different from your Lust.
Yeah, just trying to get my lust on. And then I'm gonna go over top of it with a lighter shade like this. There's some in here. Kiss together for me. Now in my Amazon store, I included some of my favorite nude lip combinations. Like there's a couple liners in there, and they have some of my favorite nude lip combinations. So if you're looking for a good nude, I have it in there. And I specifically put some in there. I did some research on the colors, like some of the best selling shades, but then ones that work for well on all different shades of brown. All right, so all right, we're gonna get ready for our finishing touches with the eyes. Now, before you dust off your under eye area, you want to make sure that you got that shadow underneath there in place. If you want to put some more shadow under there, you can. So I just went in with my brush again. Make sure that's how I want it. And then, you like that little color in the corner or no? All right, so I'm going to go in with this, my highlighter. And I'm going to just give her a little bit of razzle dazzle in the corner. If you want to try that on yourself, you can. That opens up your eye area. Now, whatever you do on one side, do it on the other side. And some people just slap it on there. Gotta still make sure you blend it, boo. Unless you like that look, then do you. And you can always tap it in with your finger, because sometimes it's hard to get a brush in that little area. Alright, I like to, before I finish, take some powder. Okay, that's a lot of powder. And I will kind of get down some of that shine she got right there. And I should have did it with this brush, because that brush has shimmer on it. That's okay. That's what happens when you're a one brush person. All right, now I'm gonna go underneath. Oh, actually, you know what I'll do? I want to touch you up with a little bit of mascara. And this is a skin tone powder. Turn in the light for me. See how this powder color looks. A little bit of powder, just to set that area. Around the nose. Alright, get you some mascara, deja say. I like to use mascara whenever I use false lashes because I just think it really helps everything blend and come all together. And so I'm gonna go, right in. I'm gonna lift that lash up and just move it back and forth. All right, look up at the ceiling for me. It's your favorite part. So just know if you don't like somebody messing with your under eye area, you ain't the one. I mean, you ain't the only one. And something that I want you to keep in mind when you're doing your makeup like this is what you learned today is technique. Look at, so this technique can be applied with different colors. If you want to change up the colors of the eyeshadow, or if you want to change up the colors that you use on your skin, look up. You learn product placement. You learned about shade variations. You learned about the importance of blending and the steps in the process. And to be patient with yourself as you're learning. You look like that. Now I'm taking a small fluffy brush, a clean brush, and I'm just gonna whisk this powder away. Look up at the ceiling for me. Yeah. You can blink as much as you need. I'm going down Deja's nose with some contour. Okay, turn this way. Yeah. Maybe. There you have it, ladies and gentlemen, your everyday beats. I'll blend that a little bit more. And if you like a little bit more of a dewy look, I like to, close for me, I like to take some rose water and baptize my clients. No, I'm just kidding.
Every time.
I posted a meme about that. It was like when your makeup artist spray you and the girls like and just make that makeup look even more like skin. Alright, and you could add more to this look or you could add less. It's totally up to you, but today you learned technique when it comes to the eyeshadow. Turn to the side for me. You got that beautiful highlight, a little carved out cheek. But everything looks natural, but she looks really nice and polished. So thank you, and please let me know if you have any questions. I'll do a little talking because it's 8:30. I mean, it's 8:24. 8:30. So that way. Do you have any questions, Stacia?
No, this was good. I'm glad about the eye like color in the middle. Because I always like, is it white? Is it, what is it? No.
And then
it's,
you're like,
it's highlight.
Okay.
Okay, cool.
wait, are you talking about this?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, you could do it with like a,
Or people do like glittery shadow.
yeah. You could do it with a lot of different things. It's really supposed to be like a lighter color that opens you up. So, yeah, I've really seen people do it with glitter and things like that. So let me see. I don't see any questions on here. Oh, they're still finishing. Can you see my chat come up?
Oh, yeah. You have any questions? Something you use under, would use under my eye?
I can't see the chat.
Yeah, I was trying to think, can you see on here? Someone was asking a question about under the eyes. Can you send that again?
But I will show them everything that I use underneath your eye.
The kind of pack.
The kind of the pack. So like the eyeshadow or the powder?
They're saying under. Somebody said they love to attend.
So I'll show you. For some reason, the way our screen is set up, I can't see all of, it says the pencil or makeup, brow fill, okay. What I will do is I will send a follow-up email to everyone used for under the eye. I hate that I can't see this, it's so annoying. Hold on.
I think they're asking like the cream at the beginning, the lotion.
Oh, the under eye area, if you're asking about that, this is called Advanced Night Repair and it's by Estee Lauder. So this is Advanced Night Repair Eye. And you can, I got this at like Ulta. Actually, right now is a really good time to buy it because you can get the products and like the little holiday gift set. So like this one, the reason why I have this little travel one is because I keep it in my kit and I was going on the airplane. So I bought like a travel kit and that way it has this product in it, and this one actually had 2 eye creams and I think it was like $40, and that way you can test out the product to see if you like the product. And then in addition to me using that under her eyes, I use this concealer, which is by e.l.f. And all of these products are available at Ulta. And then I use this powder, which is the RCMA setting powder. This one I got off Amazon. This is in my Amazon store. If you don't shop that link, then I'm sure you could just get it off their website, RCMA. And then, yeah, let me see if I can move this. I feel like, you guys bear with me. I'm gonna try to see if I can move the chat box around because I was working on this earlier. And let's see, chat box. I want to like move it. Okay, let's see if that works. Yay! Now there's so many questions. Oh my God, you should see. Thank you. Did you use an eye pencil for brush? It's still like not all the way on. Did I use an eye pencil or brush for the eyebrow fill? So for the eyebrow fill, 1 second, Jay. I'll show you the brow products, and here I come.
Your liquid stuff.
Yeah. So these are the brow products that I use. I always use a spoolie to brush the brows up and back and set them in place before you fill in your brow. So I use this one to kind of outline her brow. This one is called Ombre Brow Pen, and you can't see the writing because I use it a lot. But it's by Gigi Brows, which this is literally their website. It's a black-owned brand out of Atlanta that I'm obsessed with. I don't have a lot of favorites because I have a lot of makeup, and I'm like obsessed with this brow pencil. Like I would fight you about this.
Wait, Jelena talking about she did look pregnant. She's talking about Rihanna.
Oh, I was like, what? Ain't no pregnancy over here.
Candace asked, what's banana powder?
Oh, hey, okay, let me finish this brow information, and then I'll get to the banana powder. This is called Spiked, and this is by MAC. This is what I use to fill in her brow. So again, it has the same kind of pointy tip, and it's kind of liquidy when you apply it. And it looks like this on the other end if you want a jumbo option. And then this is just a regular brow pencil. This is by Ruby Kiss. This is probably from like a beauty supply or something like that. Like I said, I try to keep everything in my kit today pretty affordable, so you guys don't have to go out because you're just learning how to do makeup, or you know, so that you don't have to go out and spend a ton of makeup. You don't need professional products. You do need quality products so that you get a quality outcome, but you don't need a shit ton of expensive products unless you want them.
Maria wants to remind her of what the lashes were.
Oh, hey Maria. This is the pack of lashes. These are called Allure, and the style number is 126. And remember to trim your lashes so that they fit. I'm really greasy because, like I said, I have very porous skin. That was a run-on sentence. But yeah, these are the lashes. If you get these lashes from Ulta, or when you go to Ulta, always look on their website. Go before you get in line because they're going to try to act like they don't know what you're talking about. But there's 95% of the time there is a coupon on their website. You literally just go to their website. You can even type in coupon in the search bar. And you can get a coupon. Their typical one is like $3.50 when you spend $15 or something like that. So yeah. Oh, and then this is for Candace. These are the this is the banana powder. So banana powder is and that is the it's a loose powder, and it's used to set banana powder, I want to say that name originated from like a Ben Nye product or something like that. But it's just a a powder, a loose powder that would correlate with skin tones. I think you and I are kind of like similar in skin tone, Candace. So this would work well with us to do that same kind of highlight. On my sister, it would have looked too yellow. I was gonna say she's Caucasian, but I was just joking. And then this is the one that I recommended as a loose powder to set your makeup and to highlight certain areas. So powders, in most sense, like setting powders, they have talc in them, so they're gonna minimize shine and set the cream products into place. And when that happens, you see a separation in texture. So you see how I'm looking like all one blob right now? That's because my powder is like worn off by all the natural oils in my skin. But if I put a setting powder right there, you would get that really distinct kind of look because it would be smooth right here. And then you would have the shine that I tried to create on my cheek. So a loose powder is going to minimize shine, and it's going to set your cream cream and liquids into place, if that makes sense. Delia said no questions, but she loved to attend more eyeshadow class. Oh, okay, good. That's perfect because these are actually palettes. Well, they're supposed to be palettes from my makeup line, guys, but
Stay tuned.
stay tuned. Yes, I've worked on it so many times. So this is one. And this is another. I keep going back to the drawing board every time I create some looks that I think people would like. And I'm like, I don't think that eyeshadow palette is right. It's missing this color, blah, blah, blah. But I have a passion for eyeshadow looks, I think, because when I worked in retail, people always come and be like, can you do my eyes? I'm like, So I I learned how to do eyes. That's the big bulk of how I made money in creative sales, by like showing how to do eyeshadow. So I love eyeshadow, and I hate when people say that it's not in trend, because I'm like, you're crazy. Especially when you gotta wear the mask. You want your eyes to be looking cute. What kind of crap is that? I did want to take time. What time is it? Like 8:45?
8:36.
Oh, 8:36. Oh, just about to ask what eyeshadow palettes are you using. Yes, those are shadow palettes from my Makeup by Janae line. Nice to know they're... Can I slide my screen over? Oh, you can?
Nice to know they're in the making.
Yes, they are, and they've been in the making. So put some positive vibrations and prayers in the air that I can narrow it down. I'll send you guys an email, like on a poll of which palettes you prefer or something like that.
Take selfies, send them to you.
Take selfies?
Oh, we have finished looks.
Oh, yeah, you guys, my sister had a great suggestion. That's actually one that I did not write down. And also, thank you and shout out to my sister for being my model. She's so reliable. And shout out to my village that helped me figure this whole thing out, because I've been working on creating this link for you guys for like a week, probably longer. And yeah, so I'm thankful for everyone who helps me out. You gotta drop the palette so I can buy. I would appreciate that. I'm gonna do it. And any recommendations on setting spray? Yes, I didn't use setting spray on Deja today because she's probably going to bed. Yeah, she'll like take some pictures maybe and then go to bed. But I love Urban Decay All Nighter Spray, and actually they have a sale right now. I think it's on their website, but their travel size is like $12 and it's normally $15. So yeah, it's in a it's in a black bottle and the top is purple. That's the one I am familiar with that I use. There is one by Melanie Mills, MELANIE MILLS. She's a phenomenal makeup artist, but she has a setting spray. I have not personally used it, but that is the next one that I would try. I've heard nothing but good things from makeup artists, and she gets really good reviews about it. And I feel like I said this already, but if I didn't, I want to really say thank you for purchasing this course, and thank you for your time. Maybe it seems like I got it all together, but I was like, oh my God. I was so nervous. I was like, what the hell am I doing? But I really just decided to make a leap and teach the classes virtually because I get asked to do classes all the time. And I wanted to just really make some time for my clients and potential clients because I really want y'all to feel confident, not only about doing your makeup, but just feel confident about yourselves. So it makes me feel good to know that you guys felt comfortable enough with me to give me your time and your money. So I hope you learned some good things about makeup. And oh yes, sorry, that's the point my sister was making. Take some selfies. If you did your makeup today, if you whatever you learned, feel free to send me some selfies. You can DM them to me on Instagram, or you can email them to me, whatever works best for you. And what time is it? 8:40. Oh, it's 8:40. So I would love to answer any more questions that you have. Or what else can I do? I kind of beat my own time. I didn't really expect to do that.
Any other signature go-to tips we need to know?
Oh, I know what I wanted to talk about. I have a note in my phone, but I can't get to the note. Neutral palette, and that's would work for pretty much any skin tone, with the exception of anybody that's really fair. I'm not sure what Jelena's skin tone is like.
Like Douglas.
Oh, okay. So yeah, I think that would be beautiful on you, Jelena. And you guys need to go to Juvia's Place website because I just keep buying shit from them because like every day they text me, stuff from them. Because every day they text me, they're like 50% off, 80% off, 1000% off. And I'm like, okay, fine. I'll just buy it. Oh, Jelena said I missed all the recommendations because I froze. Sorry.
Oh yeah, she said repeated.
Okay. So it's a Warrior One palette by Juvia's Place. And it has like a yellowish, I think it's like yellow and maybe like orange or something like that kind of packaging. And
Maybe not quite Douglas's color.
oh, okay. But yeah, I think that would look, my sister just showing me a picture of you so I could get an idea of your skin tone. But I think that's a really good recommendation for neutral palettes. It does not have a black in there if you like black. So my favorite black is called Carbon and it's by MAC. That's just me. Because it's like an actual black shadow. And what else is another one? I feel like that would be the best recommendation that I have for neutral shades.
Brushes matter.
Do brushes matter? Oh, that's a good point. So in my opinion, in my professional opinion, I think if you're going to make an investment, then make an investment in your brushes. There are a lot of good brushes out there on the market that are not crazy expensive and like that are available at Ulta where you can get a discount. Now you don't need a ton of brushes. A few things about brushes. You need to clean your brushes on a very regular basis, especially if you're like me and you're just like acne prone. Your face brushes need to be cleaned at least once a week. I would recommend a daily cleaning spray. So when you get done with your brushes, you can at least spray the tip of them and wipe them clean on a paper towel, or at least spray them and keep them covered so you're not exposing them to bacteria. So that is like a real thing, especially like I said, if you're acne prone or if you have sensitive eyes, like if you're a contact wearer, for instance, myself. I noticed I started using the same eye color brush for too long and I'm like, why are my eye itching? Why are my contacts dry? Like, or why are they, my eyes are just really bothering me. So cleaning your brushes, making sure they're free from bacteria is very important. As far as easily accessible brushes that are a pretty good price point but also have durability, I would say my first choice would be Real Technique brushes, and I have some of those ones. These are Real Technique brushes, and the reason why I say that they have really good durability is because They don't have what you call a ferrule right here, so the brush hairs don't shed very easily. They're synthetic fibers, I believe, with a blend of natural fibers, so they work really well. And another one of my favorite brushes is this brush. This brush is by Morphe and it's a 514. This is an eyeshadow blending brush. I really like this brush. Been doing makeup a long time and I really don't like cheap brushes, but I would say these are pretty inexpensive and they have really good durability. So this Morphe brush, these Morphe brushes, sometimes the Morphe brushes are shedding, but I like this eyeshadow brush and I like Real Techniques both face and eyeshadow brushes. And then, I'll show you the brushes that I use today. Now, I can tell you that the brushes that I used today were by Bendulum. Bendulum also has a really good sale right now online. I cannot speak to the durability of these brushes because this was my first time using these. I will say that they've been recommended to me by other makeup artist friends. And they are, they're, what do you call it? Like, not biodegradable, but like, if you care about the earth, such a dumb way to put it, but eco-friendly. Oh my God, why couldn't I think of that? So they're professional eco-friendly makeup brushes, all sustainable bamboo handles, all vegan, soft synthetic bristles, and they're 100% cruelty free. So a lot of people who have those kind of cares and passions, these brushes would be great. Which I am about the cruelty free. I don't like that. So the question on there, will you read that question to me, Deja?
Recommendations on cleansers or soap for brushes.
Recommendations for cleansers. Sephora has a daily spray for brushes.
And also, have you seen reusable makeup removing towels? If so, what do you think?
Okay. So cleansing spray, a daily spray. Sephora has one to cleanse your brushes. I like to make my own combination of cleanser and I use the regular Dawn dish soap. I would say, like, if I had to give measurements, I would say a half a tablespoon of Dawn and maybe like a teaspoon of olive oil. So put that solution in a glass first and then put some warm water, maybe like a half a cup, quarter of a cup, and mix the solution. Put your brushes in there. Whenever you're washing your makeup brushes, you don't ever want to, you just want to wash the bristles. You don't want to get the brush submerged in any kind of water or anything like that past this ferrule, because that's where the brush, it holds the hairs, and that also holds the wooden or the plastic part that keeps the brush all together. So again, you're just washing this. You want to mix your brush in the solution, squeeze out, rinse the brush, squeeze out any excess water, and shape the brush back to its original shape. Lay it flat to dry, and I like to lay it over the edge of the counter or wherever I'm laying it, so that you can get air on the top and you can get air on the bottom, so that you're not breeding bacteria and it doesn't have like that mildew kind of smell. You can also use a gentle shampoo, like a baby shampoo, if you don't want to use Dawn. I do recommend mixing the oil into the solution, because that's going to break down your products that don't just break down with soap and water. And then the next question was makeup, reusable makeup removers, wipes. So whenever I take off my makeup, I like to use the oil because it's just gonna break down the products. And just being honest, I got so many layers and all this shit on my face, and like I said, I'm acne prone, so I like to really make sure that the makeup is removed. So I go in with I usually use a makeup wipe, and then I usually go in with like shea butter or olive oil or something, and I just rub it all in, all over. Be careful around your eyes, but I rub it all in. And then I do use a reusable makeup towel, because they're really soft, and because I'm acne prone, I have to be careful that I'm not like breaking the surface of any of my pimples or anything like that, so I don't create scarring or spread the bacteria. So I do like the reusable ones. I buy them from like TJ Maxx. They're really nice and soft, and I just use that in combination with the oil. They get really dirty, so I like to use like a black one or something like that. But yeah, so I do like those. Any additional questions? I feel like I'm rambling. Can you guys tell me what was the highlight of what you learned today? I would love to hear that. Girl, this thing is still talking about loose powder.
Well, yeah, you went counting for a minute, dabbing your face.
That was a long time ago. Thank you
so much.
Oh, well, that was very encouraging. Thank you, Jay. I appreciate that. And you're so welcome. Thank you so much for attending.
You gotta do another one.
Okay.
Y'all gonna be students for life?
I will say this, the people that I have taught that feel pretty confident doing their own makeup, or when I see them, I'll be like, wow, I am so proud. Look at my student. They've done like 3 makeup lessons. And what I want you guys to take away from today is that you learn, like I said, you learn technique. So, and I've been doing makeup for over 10 years, right? So this took me an hour. It's gonna take, but I did makeup for a living every single day. So don't put the pressure on yourself to get it right. Makeup is a mood. Makeup is about expression. And your makeup doesn't have to look like anybody else's makeup, right? So I always say, if you feel like 3 eyeshadows, put on 3. If you just feel like 1 and a little bit of mascara, that will suffice too. So let your makeup kind of shine from the inside out, right? It doesn't have to be cookie cutter. You don't have to do makeup exactly how you learned to do it today. Just use the techniques throughout your next makeup application, but you have to practice. You ain't gonna pick up the brushes and be like, what happened last time I was able to do eyeshadow and I could put on my lashes. Lashes on myself are difficult, right? If I don't do lashes on myself on a regular basis, it's kind of hard for me to put them on. On somebody else, it's much easier because you can see their eye and you can get right in there. But on yourself, it's not the easiest. The way you get better is practice.
For a beginner, I really like seeing the order of how you apply makeup. And then I enjoy the placement portions and the brief descriptions of what we're doing and the purpose of the methods.
Well, thank you. I really appreciate your feedback. It's good for confidence boosting. And I'm sitting here looking at my eyeshadow and I'm like, it's not even. That's the makeup artist in me. Well, it is 8:53. Please, as an extension of this course for over the course of the next week, if you think of any questions, feel free to email me. I do not recommend that you DM me if it's something urgent, because I just don't get to DMs that fast, y'all. I try, but I just don't, okay? It's not personal. Please send me an email. If you have my personal phone number, you can call me. Don't text me. But yes, thank you for your time. Thank you for joining me. Email me any feedback that you have or anything like that. Thank you for my LS for sharing flyer of the course. Yes, that's what I'm saying. Like, my village or my constant supporters, like, I'm so thankful for them because they constantly share my posts. They're there. I was texting my cousin in the middle of the thing like, hey, get on the link. I want to make sure that you can see me and hear me. And I went over rehearsing it with them all throughout the day. Yesterday, they're just phenomenal in helping me doing what I keep trying to do. And I like bug them all the time with ideas and things that I'm gonna do. And then when it happens, they're like, so we're doing a makeup course. So yes, so thank you, and I appreciate you all for attending, and I can't wait for you to show me your selfies of your makeup look tonight or your upcoming makeup look. So Merry Christmas if you celebrate Christmas. Happy Kwanzaa, Happy New Year, all that stuff. Bye.